from entering the UK since October. The list includes a Hamas cleric, a neo-Nazi, and American talk radio host Michael Savage. British Home Secretary Jackie Smith defended the decision on the morning talk show BBC Breakfast.
Coming to this country is a privilege, and that we won't allow people into this country who are going to propagate the sort of views, and more than that, that fundamentally go against our values. You know, I believe, we've discussed free speech before, I believe in free speech. I want to defend that, but I don't think free speech should be a license for people to preach or to promote hatred or to exhort other people actually to carry out criminal acts.
Based in San Francisco, Michael Savage's Savage Nation is nationally syndicated with an audience estimated at 10 million per week. So where's the line between free speech and hate speech? Should people be barred from a country because of what they say? Our phone number, 800-989-8255. Email us talk@npr.org. You can join the conversation at our website, too. That's at npr.org. Click on Talk of the Nation. Michael Savage, host of the Savage Nation, joins us now by phone from his office in San Francisco. And nice to have you today on Talk of the Nation.
Well, thanks, Neil. So what should we talk about? How about the First Amendment?
Well, I was going to ask you, first of all, though, how you found out about this. Did you arrive at Heathrow Airport and were you turned away?
Well, no. I woke up, turned on the Drudge Report. When I saw it this morning, my first thought was, darn, there goes the summer trip where I plan to have my dental work done. The second thought was, there goes my visit to the restaurants of England for their great cuisine. But then when I thought about the list, I said, where's Kim Jong-il, who allegedly starved 1 million of his countrymen to death? And why am I on the same list as a Hamas terrorist who smashed a Jewish child's head in with a rifle butt? How in the world could this be happening in the land of the Magna Carta, I wondered? Has the nation of England now become the land of the mini-Carta?
Well, presumably they've listened to some of the things that you said, or somebody complained about them or something. Have you found out how you got on this list?
I don't know. How did I get on this secret list in the land of free speech? Neil, whatever happened to the liberal statement, I may disagree with you, but I would fight to the death your right to say it. Where did that go?
Well, in that context, would you agree that Britain has the right and some would say the obligation to keep some people out of the country?
Well, Neil, it sounds as though you agree with them.
Well, for example, you use the example of a Hamas terrorist, your description.
How would you describe someone who took a Jewish child's head and smashed it in with a rifle butt? How would you describe that?
I would call that absolutely despicable, horrible, terrorist thing to do. But nevertheless...
I didn't know that by what you said to me.
But, well, I don't know that this man did that. You told me.
You don't know that. Why don't you do your research? Maybe you'd find out a little bit more instead of lumping me in with him.
Well, they lumped you in with him.
You just said, shouldn't you be lumped in with them?
No, I didn't. What I was going to say is, do they have a right to keep people like him out of their country?
I don't know, but I know that we have a First Amendment in America, and as you well know, you're protected by it.
Indeed.
And the whole point of the First Amendment was to protect offensive speech, not polite speech.
That is an important point. John Peter Zenger, the celebrated case in colonial American times, was not a polite man.
Well, he was trying to fight the British, who were oppressing the colonists. And the First Amendment was written after the Revolutionary War, and we had our First Amendment and our Bill of Rights, to protect speech that authorities would find to be threatening.
And as you considered this list, are you taking any actions about it?
Well, I've consulted with some very liberal First Amendment attorneys who are friends of mine. They don't agree with my politics, but they understand what happens to a nation that starts banning speech. And I am considering a direct lawsuit against this Jackie Smith, who is laughed at in her own country, by the way.
The Home Secretary in Britain.
Well, she is considered an abject clown by people who understand what she's doing. Do you know that this woman has redefined terrorism? She's also sought the tracking of emails and telephone calls.
Redefine terrorism in what way?
Well, okay, she's been labeled a pocket dictator by one writer in England. In January, Jackie Smith oversaw a government program to adopt a new language for declarations on Islamic terrorism, urging all top government workers to refer to Islamic terrorists as pursuing anti-Islamic activity. But worse than that, for the general public, she has attempted to portray Islamic terrorists as nothing more than cold-blooded murderers who are not fighting for any religious cause. Well, we can all agree with that. But she had a new proposal. She wanted communications data gathered by the government. She wanted emails and telephone calls garnered by the government. She, in April, tried to get a government database to get records of all electronic communications. Internet firms were asked to collect and store vast amounts of data, including those from social networking sites such as Facebook. And she defended it. She said, my key priority is to protect the citizens of the UK, and communications data is an essential tool for law enforcement agencies to track murderers and pedophiles. I mean, I can go on, but I think you get the point. I think that any liberal listening to this show should be quite alarmed by this movement in England, because perhaps you will be next. I mean, if they ban me, will they ban you next?
I have no idea, but obviously Britain is not covered by the First Amendment of our Constitution.
No, thank God I'm an American, but for this lunatic, Neil, to link me up with Nazi skinheads who are killing people in Russia, 2 of them are in prison for murdering people, to put me in league with Hamas murderers who kill Jews on buses is astonishing, since I have never advocated violence. I've been on the air 15 years. I wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes had I advocated violence. And I agree, my views may be inflammatory to some, but they are not violent in any way. In fact, they're mainstream outside of San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, and Austin, Texas.
Well, let's see if we get a caller out on the line. 800-989-8255, email talk@npr.org. Our guest is Michael Savage, the host of Savage Nation, who learned earlier today that he'd been banned from entering the United Kingdom. Jeffrey's on the air. Jeffrey calling from Des Moines, Iowa.
If you listen to Michael Savage, if every time he says Islam or Muslim, you insert either Jew or Christian, he would be off the air in one day. I've had Muslim...
Wait a minute. I don't want to listen to this foaming lunatic. I came on the air to give you my opinion, not to listen to someone in pajamas in a mental asylum in Iowa. So if this...
you know...
No, you listen to me, you. You're a nobody.
Michael Savage?
Nobody, and I'm not going to talk to you. Now, Neil, if you'd like to continue the discussion, I'll do so. Otherwise, I have more important things to do than talk to someone in pajamas in an institution in Iowa.
Then go do them, please.
Thank you.
Michael Savage hanging up on us from his office in San Francisco. Joining us now is Michael Harrison, the founder and editor of Talk.